describe what happened in the third quarter?
I think that they just took control of the game. Really did a good job of getting out and getting some really good looks in transition. And we didn't do a good enough job there getting back and getting matched. And they just took over and posed their will.
After you guys were really connected defensively, that kind of breakdown tonight?
I felt we were good for a good amount of time, but I just think that they play with a lot of purpose, and I think we were good at for most of the times, but it was just that run in the third that really got to our group, and we couldn't recover from that.
Did they do anything more to create Middleton? I mean, we just started getting
we need to definitely be better with that. He really got going early and just kept it going. And obviously, we'll have to look at film and see what we can do better. But you got to give them credit; they responded.
Coach has talked about matching their sense of urgency. Do you feel that was lacking in this one?
I mean, I felt like we were playing. We were playing at a high level. You just got to give them credit. That they played better than us tonight.
What do you guys do differently?
I think we have to look at the film. I think that sometimes you look at things one way and then you look at film.
All right, back live now in Milwaukee. Kyrie Irving, 4 of 18, his third worst shooting night in a playoff game.
Kyrie, Gary Washburn from the Boston Globe. It seemed like you just couldn't get going tonight. Even in the second half, you hit a couple of shots, and then, you were getting contested at the rim, couldn't finish. What happened tonight?
Like I said the other night. Some shots gonna go in, some shots aren't. Tried to get to my spots, but they were really sending 3 over every single place I went on the court. That's a sign of respect. And for me, I just got to be more efficient in controlling the tempo of the game, pace, where I want to get to on the floor, and making reads better around that mid-range area. Did a great job of switching tonight, forcing me left, and getting to the paint wasn't hard. It's just going in there and making the right decisions. And the way I started off the game as well, of just getting downhill, just setting an example for my teammates of the way we want to play. I just didn't put my stamp on that. So I think that the rest of the tempo of the game, they did a great job of controlling it. And then when you have, them shooting, 47 threes and making 20 of them, that also kind of bites you in the butt. And then, you got E-Bled and Chris Middleton and Giannis combining for, over 70 points. That's tough to combat as well, especially when you're not making shots.
Joseph Pavone, WEEI.com, CLNS Media. Kyrie, what did you see differently defensively in the second half from the Bucks?
It wasn't anything, different than we saw in the first half. I just think that they were just scrambling. It was just looked like frantic defense, and then we got a little frantic, and took some quick shots, that led out to some transition baskets. So we gave them some, pretty easy plays, but they made the right reads as well. And then, like I said, when you attempt 47 threes, it's that's absurd in an NBA game, but that's the way they've played all season. So we just got to be ready to weather the storm and get ready for Game 3.
Kyrie, John Corrales, MassLive.com. You just kind of touched on it. Do you think your team's misses kind of played into their ability to take and make as many threes as they did versus the game one facing much more of a set defense? Yeah,
but I think we could have controlled a little bit more in a half court in terms of the threes that they were getting. Chris shot 7 for 10 tonight. Eric got 3 for 5, and then Giannis made 2 for 4. Those are big plays in the game. And then, of course, when Giannis shoots 18 free throws in a game, that also, slows the pace down. And we just got to find a way to keep our tempo. That's my job, to go out there and just really set that example for our team, get out in transition, make the right reads. So we'll look at film, but I think I already have a clue of the way I want to play going into Game 3.
Jay King, The Athletic. Kyrie, this is the first time you're in the playoffs as a lone All-Star on your team, especially after a game like this. What is the extra burden there, and how do you intend to deal with it?
There's no extra burden. This is what I signed up for. This is what Boston traded for me for. So being able to go back, get back in the trenches, get ready for, another battle on Friday. This is what you live for. So, basketball is fun when it comes like this, when you have to respond. And, this is type of basketball you want to be playing at this time of year.
Kane Pittman with the pick and roll. Kyrie, you said that they were throwing 2 or 3 bodies at you every time. They looked like they were switching 1 through 4 to start the game as well defensively. So how do you guys work through that, and what's the best way, I suppose, to get around that? Because it looked like, as you said, they were playing pretty frantic defense and sort of harassing you guys.
Yeah, as they should. They came out with a sense of urgency. I don't think any team wants to go down 2-0, especially on their home floor. So they came out with that energy. Feel like we paced the game pretty well. But like I said, it starts with the example of me getting down in that paint and making the right reads. And I failed to do that tonight. So, that responsibility falls on me in terms of that, just controlling the tempo a lot better. They were getting out in transition. They made plays. But there were times, examples in the game where, I could have just slowed us down and just got us into some sets that we've gone to and attacked the switches, especially when Chris and Nikola Mirotic are switching on me. That's something like I just got to just go by them. So.
Final question, Paul. Paul Flannery, SB Nation. Things can fluctuate a lot game to game during a playoff series, but how do you guys feel about coming out of here with a split in the big picture?
I mean, it's the playoffs. We're playing against a great team. They're number 1 in the Eastern Conference for a reason. Finished regular season strong, came out, did what they were supposed to do in the first round of playoffs, and now, it's 2 great teams going against one another. I've been in too many battles, going back and forth to get it too high or too low. Going back home, you always feel good, but, this one would have been great to get, but we didn't. And now we go back home and reset our mindset going in and really just have fun playing the game of basketball. They did a great job of just making us make decisions and being in certain positions where we didn't execute, or guys were thinking that one guy was going to be there and they weren't, because they were sending 3 or 4 at the ball. And in order to beat this team, you got to play even more together, and especially when we're coming down and we have the talent to attack certain matchups, but getting that ball to the second side and getting it back on another side and attacking that way and seeing the help, then everyone's in the right positions. So we shot a little too quick tonight, especially some of the shots I took. So, game 3, I'm looking forward to it. Yep.